Hi, welcome back to Road Rage Rescues. I'm John, and today we're going to be working on these Viking performance shocks for the 65 Mustang Project. We're waiting on some parts. We're here in the kitchen table because it's cold outside, and I want to turn the heater on in the garage. When I started working on the car, I had taken these off, and the car's been moved to at least 2 different garages, probably 3. And the parts have been boxed up here and there, and I really didn't feel like I dug through what I could find in the garage, and I could not find these shock tower caps, so I ordered them. And when I ordered them, I forgot to get the new hardware, so I ordered that. It should be here in a couple more days. They're saying Saturday, today's Thursday. So in the meantime, we're gonna put these Viking coilovers together. They are for 65 Mustang, part number A333CD. As I showed you before, and we'll put these all the way in. You'll see more how the spring sets up in here, but the spring sets here and then it goes up inside the shock tower, but you have this lockdown on the bottom. So we're gonna put this on. It goes from the top down because you can't get it over these 2 adjustment knobs. So we'll run this down. We're gonna run it down all the way because we don't know where the car is gonna need to sit. So also don't forget, it says in the directions to make sure you use anti-seize on it, because if you don't, it'll void any warranty if you have to send the shock back to get it worked on. It also says failure to follow these instructions can result in serious injury and or death. So follow directions. I kind of went through them a little bit already. It looks pretty easy to do, so we're just gonna go ahead and go through it. Now the spring sits on top of this part, so it goes like this. And the bottom of the spring is shaped smaller to bottom and wider to top, so it's sort of like a factory spring on the top side, but it fits on top of the shock on the bottom. And obviously this is your adjustment. You can raise it up or down. You've got these. Like I say, we'll put some anti-seize on this before we put it all together. Actually, I'm gonna leave this off for right now because it's gonna fall off. We're gonna put these in. And these have, get in there. Got little lock rings that go in here. That's not the right size for that. So use your lock ring pliers, and we're going to set them to open. Oh, I'm sorry. They go to close. These are inside snap rings. All right, we're gonna pause for a minute because I have to change these tips because the tips are bigger than these little tiny holes that are here. So hold on just a minute. Okay, we have changed the tips to fit this little snap ring. So we're gonna set it down in here. We're gonna make an adjustment here. All right, try it again. your snap rings are settled in there on the one side. Make sure they're popped all the way in on this side. We'll put this part back in. Come on, baby. And we'll grab our other snap ring. Okay, we're gonna make one more change. All right, I've once again changed the tips. I had curved ones on here before, angled ones, and they're giving me a hard time, so we'll see if this works any better. Yeah, way easier. So if you do this, use the straight ones. So now this is bolted in here. This piece goes in here. Now this will be our top shock mount. And that's where these bad boys go. We're gonna open these ones up. This way. One more change. These are different size, so we're gonna have to change the tips again. All right, we've put on a bigger tip. We'll see if we can open this up with any better success this time. Oops, gotta switch it the other way to go in. Super fun, this is. Super fun. All right, make sure that clips on there. Now we can slide this in here and put the clip on the other side. If I were a clip, where would I be? Here it is, right here. Probably shouldn't be working on the kitchen table. If I scratch this, I'll never hear the end of it. Well, I guess I will hear the end of it, but. Okay, I'm gonna point these little, where you spread them open down. I really feel like that one's not on all the way. Let me try a little bit more. All right, so that's on. This bolts on to the top here, the top shock tower, top shock tower. I'll get it out in a minute. Actually, I believe it bolts down because this has threads in it, so it'll go like that. So now we'll work on the bottom part. Have a couple more snap rings to put in. And we'll pause a minute. I gotta change these tips because these are smaller. Before I do that, I think I'm gonna put this one on real quick. I still have one of these on. Come on, baby. I'll find that in a minute. Okay, one side of that is on. And we have to change this. So I'm gonna pause it for a second and change these. Well, I found the other one on the floor. Now we're gonna put one of these in here. All right, that side's in. We'll put this little deal here in. One of these. All right, that swivels in. This bolts to the top of your control arm. Oh. Gonna pause you again. We gotta change these tips. All right, ready to go. Put the last clip on. All right, I kind of like them all pointing the little keyholes for the tip to go in all in the same area. Aesthetics, maybe it'll do something maybe well. But okay, all we got left to do is put the never sees on here and in between here on this roller bearing, so we don't void our warranty. We keep all this stuff lubed up, and then we'll set it up in the car and with a coil spring on it, and we'll bolt it all together. Bolt this down. This goes on top of the the upper A-arm. This goes on top of the shock tower with this. These caps are bolted on. These are factory caps. They're bolted on with a fine thread. I think it's a 5/16 carriage bolt that comes up from the bottom, and then the nut goes on the top. So we're waiting on these bolts and the nuts to get here, and then we'll put it together. So catch you in the next clip. All right, so I got both shocks built. We're just waiting on the bolts for these caps. Really the only tool you need to put these together is this right here until you get to the part of the car. And the hardest part about this is probably putting these little clips on over these shafts. And the second hardest part will be making sure you have to change back and forth between two different sizes. Why? I don't know that they didn't just use one size. Don't forget your warning about the anti-seize. Thank you for Viking Performance. These are their Crusader shocks for 65 to 70 Mustang, and they're set up for coilovers. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next clip. And hopefully we'll have the parts to put them in the car. All right, so today we're back on the 65 Mustang Project. I got my struck tower caps right here, and I also got my brand new bolts for the bottom that hold these. They come in from the bottom up through the shock tower itself. They're very thin. This is kind of what they look like. So they come from the bottom up and hold this cap on. We're going to put this on loosely, and then we'll put the spring and shock in. Okay, so this has 3 holes. 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. So these go to the outside edge. So we reach in from the bottom. Throw them on like this. Oh no. All right, so these are all in loosely, so we can move this thing around if we have to, because we still have to, the top of the shock goes on the top of this. So now I'll move you guys back over where you were, and we'll put the spring and the shock in. Okay, time for some anti-seize. This is a Permatex brand anti-seize 133K. If anybody's wondering what kind of control arms these are, they're Global West. And they've been on this car for a long time. As you can see, they got never been used. They're brand new. They just got dust all over. We have the spring. I believe it's 350-pound spring for the front. Anyway, it goes up inside here. We're going to set it on this here. Okay. I'll clean off some of the silver stuff. NICs makes a mess. All right, get some brake clean on that. All right, so we got this up in there. I'm gonna leave it loose for now. I have to go to the store and get some longer 5/16 bolts to go from the shock to into the cap to hold the shock down. And so for now, I'm gonna leave this loose. Off screen, I'll tighten it up. And off camera, I'll put the other side together. And then on the next video, we'll start putting the Wilwood brakes in the front, and then we can set the car down and set the ride height. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thanks again. This is John from Road Rage Rescues. Bye now.